Hey, and welcome to Glue Wednesday. Yes, the original Glue Wednesday. I like to mention that, even though somebody may be on for the first time, but this broadcast started out as Glue Wednesday. It has now evolved and grown to Glue Monday and Friday as well. Reason being, when I started out as Glue Wednesday about two years ago, I think it's not actually 2017. I started as Glue Wednesday, and that was to because of my word sensitivity. How so many people say that Wednesday is Hump Day. I'm good, Haas. I'm good. Welcome aboard. I'm just explaining the rules. All right. Yeah, we've got less than 3 minutes for today's message to start. So Glue Wednesday started out with my word sensitivity, and as well as the joy in playing with the vocabulary. So you have to control your vocabulary rather than allowing your vocabulary to control you. So you got to have fun. Words don't automatically mean what you think they mean, or as they're said. Let me just go on and get a click on and oops, wrong button. That's too much technology. All right. But so anyway, so people said that Wednesday was Hump Day. That's the cliche, the term. And that was originally started way back when people used, most people had a Monday to Friday job. And so Wednesday was considered the middle of the work week. And so it was Hump Day. So it was kind of I think I'm going to research that and see why they even came up with it. All right. All right. Who's this? What's up, Martha? Okay, good. Okay. And we are taking you away. All right. Okay. I was Martha with a GoFundMe page. But you know what? I definitely, I'm not against that, but this is not the time or spot for that. And so Martha, if you are there, please feel free to repost, send me a tag and I'll be happy to try to get that on for you. But that does not go in my Glue Wednesday. All right. So anyway, I decided to change Wednesday instead of looking at Hump Day to the Glue because it keeps the week beginning and the weekend together, bringing it together in a traditional 7-day week and put us right in a prayerful mode. And that's why I call it GLUE. God's love undoes everything. And that's where Glue Wednesday started. During this pandemic, it's going to be Glue Monday and Friday also, but we're just going to do, today we're back to Glue Wednesday and our message is about to start. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Okay. Ah, man. Yeah, that was a great explanation. Got to have great explanations, y'all. And in fact, yeah, during this time, it's important to have great explanations because a lot of things, people, news is going so fast and where we're getting it from, and people need to slow down and explain stuff. Even as you use technology was made to speed things up for us, but you have to be able to slow technology down with an explanation, a clear explanation so that you can know how it's being used and why it's being used to get your message across. So today I'll continue to put my foot on the gas. Now, what the gas, if those of you who don't know, the gas is the GAS, the Glue Alphabet Series. The Glue Alphabet Series is something that we created that every message will begin with and feature the next letter in the alphabet. So today, the letter in the alphabet that we're using is the letter M. And what happens is if you're on the live thread or even if you're watching the video, you can still put a word in the feed that begins with the next letter that we'll be featuring. For instance, on Friday, the feature letter will be the letter N. So if you have a word with the letter N that you want that to be featured in the message, you would put that word in the feed. Hey, Haas, what's up, Vic? I'm good. All right, so these words, and then you become my co-author. So these words that begin with that letter M were the ones that were put into the feed before today's message. These were put into the feed on Monday. All right, so the M words today, and you'll be listening for those words as they come in the message. I won't stop and identify them, but they're messenger, ministry, make, mighty, and motivate. And you'll see them up in the explanation as well. And they create the message that I'm bringing you today. It's called, Are You Mad? Are you mad? And my feature poem will be, I noticed you weren't wearing any underwear. If you like to get, meanwhile, again, if you like to get a word with the letter N in for Friday's message, I'm sorry, you're going to put that in the thread. If you'd like a copy of today's featured poem, what you're going to do is not put anything in the thread, but you're going to email me a request for the poem at unclesporty@gmail.com. And then I'll send you a colorful PDF commemorative copy of the poem with my electronic signature. See, again, that's what I'm saying. Technology, slow them down and make them personal. There you go, Vic. So Vic's already put in a word nice as he wants in the message on Friday. And that's why I say this up front. You can put that word in any time during the broadcast. You do not have to wait for the end. So the word nice is going to somehow work its way into Friday's message. But our message is brought to you today by the letter M. And thus my t-shirt, you can see it already. It says music, but it goes on to say music gives to St. Jude's kids. All right. This is something that I picked up, and that's what I'll do with each message. I'll wear a t-shirt that goes with the letter. And doing that does what? It also gives me a memory and a connection to how I got the t-shirt. And see, that's what we need to do. That's one of the things we could be doing right now as you connect to where and how you got certain things, souvenirs in your house, whatever you collect, it gives you a pleasant memory and something to smile about. And that's part of how you work your way through not just this pandemic, but through life in general. But this was in support of I picked this up in support of St. Jude's kids. Know that you could still be sowing seeds of support for charitable organizations, even through this pandemic. You might consider, if possible, here's how you could do it. Figure out what percentage of your support you're giving was. Then give that percentage, that portion, or just a little less. But the key is don't give up on your being a blessing. So that, you don't have to, I don't have time to give to charities or money. Maybe you don't. But if you do, that's one formula that you can use. You might not be able to give at the level you were giving before, but they haven't stopped needing. So figure out what percentage you were giving. Then take that number and either give that percentage as a number or just a little less, but don't stop your blessing. If you can't do it, fine, but at least now you have a formula in case you want to give that a try. And meanwhile, charitable organizations and kids walk us right into our message today of Are You Mad? Now, hopefully you're familiar with MADD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. That's another charitable organization that was created years ago, and it's Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and it was mothers whose children had been killed because of a drunk driver hitting them, okay? So it's another wonderful charitable organization. But the MADD I'm talking about today is MADD, Making a Difference Daily. Are you making a difference daily? And the sub-question would be, what kind of a difference are you making? So let me start off with the poem that you've been chomping at the bit to hear. I noticed you weren't wearing any underwear. And it's from my book, I Found Out I'm Dying, A Celebration of Life. A book about the fact that physically we've all been dying from the day we're born. Get over it. One day you won't be here. See, so one of the reason I pointed out is because I like to point out, see, right now we're getting caught up in the headlines. I found out I'm dying. Oh, is this book about the fact that he's dying? He's going to die right in the middle of the broadcast here? No, I'm not. But the subtitle is A Celebration of Life. Don't get caught up in the headlines to where you don't read the subtitles, because we live in the subtitles. The headlines are just to get our attention. Now that I've got your attention, let me tell you what I really want to talk to you about. So that's how you have to use your headlines and make sure that you get to the subtitles so that you can find ways to enjoy life. Because this book is totally about celebrating life, not the fact that we're going to lose life, even though we are. So this poem is called, I Noticed You Weren't Wearing Any Underwear. And it's actually, I wrote this poem in 1994, and it was one of the first poems that I ever used. I actually used it in a Toastmasters speech. I noticed you weren't wearing any underwear. Oh, there were plenty of other people in the room to talk to and plenty of things to look at. but your eyes held my attention. Well, not the whole time. There were times where you looked away and I thought about nibbling your toes or fingertips or neck to get your attention. Sure, I even considered picking you up. But I noticed you weren't wearing any underwear. And I knew that you were oblivious to the breeze that kept blowing in the room. So I decided to join everyone else in the waiting game of when someone would come over and change your diaper. Yep, and this is how I continue in the book as I explain the poem and how you can use it in your life. It's a baby on the table. And that poem illustrates the fact that so often it is our perception of things that degrade or promote how we look at life and how we live. Think about it, right? Think about yourself being at like a housewarming or a baby shower. And so there were plenty of people in the room to talk to and plenty of things to look at, but your eyes held my attention, right? You go and you start playing with the baby. But the baby won't keep looking at you, so you start nibbling at their toes or the fingertips and neck to get your attention. Sure, there were plenty of things that you could look at and do, but you start playing with the baby. Then you notice that they don't have on a diaper, especially if it's a little boy, and then you say, let me join everybody else, right? In the waiting game of when someone would come over and change your diaper. Our perception of things degrades or promotes the way we look at things. And that's why I always challenge people with Sportyism number 2. Listen to the paragraph, not the sentence. Allow people to finish what they're saying before we judge the content of what they're saying. How important is that going to be right now as we're dealing with people in households that we have used to having separate time from when we went to school or we went to work? So it goes on to say, when we open up our minds to absorb ideas in their entirety, we put ourselves in a better position to communicate and to be communicated with. Allow people to finish what they're saying before you judge the content of what they're saying. You see, a large part of communication is patience. And it's no secret that patience is a huge part of our daily existence right now. But apparently, the secret is that it always has been. Prayer, goal setting, cooking, education, relationships, games, all of those things required patience. So what's the big secret? We have always had to exercise a proportionate amount of patience to get a mighty testimony. And what other kind of testimony is other than a mighty one? The formula I find in the Bible is TPPT. TPPT. Trial, prayer, patience, testimony. Trial, prayer, patience, testimony. And you can fold them together and motivate yourself to continue to believe in the message of GLUE, God's love undoes everything. And if you write that down on the paper, you'll see what I mean, because you have TPPT. And so if you fold them together, you'll have the T overlapping itself and the P overlapping itself. And it puts you in the prayerful mode that we use to start our glue. God's love undoes everything. And you see, that formula, that TPPT, that hasn't changed and it will not change. Can't you now look back and flash back to that person you thought you'd never get over? Mighty. Can't you now look back and flash back to that test you'd never pass? Mighty. Can't you now look back to that job you'd never get or complete? Mighty. And a quick commercial here for my favorite group of all time, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and their song, Mighty. There was a line in their song that said, we are people of the mighty, mighty people of the sun. And here's the line: in our heart lies all the answers to the truth you can't run from. We are people of the mighty. In our heart lies all the answers to the truth you can't run from. And the truth that you can't run from is that we are people of the mighty. We are God's children. God's love undoes everything. Trials, prayer, patience, testimony. See, that's what we've got inside us. That's what's running through our veins. And that's why we are going to be able to see this as just another storm. Choose your messengers carefully. And when you know that you are the messenger, make your ministry one that is MADD, MADD, making a difference daily, and MADD, making a daily difference that positively gives one more person hope. And you know what I say in terms of positivity, I'm not positive 365, 24/7. I'm not, and I don't think you can be. But I'm positive more than I'm negative. I'm up more than I'm down. I'm going forward more than I'm moving backwards. And there's nothing wrong with every now and then reframing that, moving backwards, to recognizing that every now and then you just have to step back and take a look at your work. Choose your messengers carefully. And so when I step back and take a look at my work, I get to see that perception is an important part of every prayer, of every trial, of every testimony, of everything we're going through right now in this pandemic. It's just another storm. So I close out this gas glue alphabet series with a reminder that the now normal requires looking at things differently. Step back, pull your perspective together, and look at this situation as the next storm that you'll go through, and flash back to how you thought you'd never make it. Mighty. If you'd like to get a word in the next message, you're invited to put it in this thread. I see we've got some already. We've got nice and never. Let me see. Oh, I can now, let me see, scroll down and see if we got any other words. Nice, never, nutrition. Wow. Speak now. We can make now a part of it. Yeah. You failed on the title. It's down the street. Okay. I hear you. Yeah. We got a little extra time. I can go and look through the thread now. That's something I haven't been able to do. So, but that's the thing, y'all. Put the words in the thread, but recognize that, if you like a copy of the poem, send me an email request to unclesporty@gmail.com. But Friday, we'll be using the letter N. So you've got your N words in there. And what I'll do is I'll motivate and make a mighty effort to combine our ministries and make you co-messenger of the message on Friday. And guess what? Another M word. I used my new mic today. How'd you like the sound? Yeah, I used my new mic without my headphones, and this is kind of cool. This is where my business is going right now, y'all. What are you doing to increase your business and upgrade your business if you're still in business? If you're retired, you're still in business as well, because what are you doing to make the business of life better for you? Right now, we got schools and colleges giving free courses that you can take. You might not be able to get college credit for it, but look into those things that you can do to upgrade your circumstances and your situation. Now, Monday, there will be no glue Monday, because I'll be hosting my first ever webinar. It's called Navigating in the Now Normal. Have you registered? If you haven't, I'll be reposting the link after I post this. I'll be reposting that link in my feed so that you can go and register for Navigating in the Now Normal. It's a free webinar, my first ever. Not that I don't know how to do webinars, but I just have never done one. This is where my business is going. And how can I be your messenger if I don't take advantage of the new resources that I need to deliver my message? You see where I'm coming from? That's what you have to be able and willing to do. Don't get caught up in the headlines that you're stuck in the house. Remember, you're safe in the house. I'm not bored. I'm on board with this change. You see, it's just, again, it's controlling your vocabulary and finding out ways to deliver your message. You deliver your message to me when you encourage me and inspire me to come up with the next message. So believe me, that really does happen. And I thank all of you as you continue to be a part of that for me. So that's the end of my message today. I'm glad I got a chance to go down. You need the link. I'm going to send that. Like I say, as soon as I post this, as soon as I close this out, I'll go ahead and post the link for the registration. And here's another tip. If you don't have it, you should have gotten in an invitation invitation from me in email. So that could mean one of a couple of things. I don't say one of two because I don't know how many. It could mean I don't have your email address. It could mean that you're not, therefore, I may not be sending you my Golden Brick Road, which is my monthly fun letter to keep people inspired and uplifted. It's archived on my site, sportyking.com, so you can go see it anytime. But when I post a new one, when I upload the new one, I send out an email reminder to people to let them know that it's posted so that they can get a chance to, because, you've got stuff on your things to do list. Let me put you on mine. Let me serve you. See, that's what each of us has been saying, but now we're hearing it differently from different people. All of us are doing a great job of serving, y'all. All of us. You don't have to be like major, doing something major to say, oh, I'm doing my part. I'm serving. Remember, life is about going from one puzzle to the next. You're either small, medium, or large piece of the puzzle. So when you see yourself as a small piece of the puzzle, that doesn't mean that you're an insignificant piece of the puzzle. It means that this puzzle only requires you to do a certain amount of stuff. Please do a certain amount of stuff so that the puzzle can be complete. Then in the spots where you're the medium or the large piece of the puzzle, again, do what we need you to do based on what you need to be doing so that you can make that puzzle complete for all of us. We're all in this together, going through it differently. Now, that's part of the message. If you haven't been keeping up with I'm with a group of about 5 other entrepreneurs. We call ourselves the 2020 Visionaries of Charlotte. We're doing what's called a pandemic perspective series. And that's part of our tagline, is that we're all going through this together differently. So again, there's a lot of places that you can get the message, but there's a lot of places where you can deliver the message as well. Thank you for getting it from me. Thank you for delivering it to wherever you deliver it. And thank you for recognizing GLUE, Glue. God's love undoes everything. Ciao.